Welcome to Hello America Millennium Daily News Update. The number of people killed in overnight Israeli strikes in Syria has risen to 18 with dozens. More wounded, Syria's health minister said Monday, the largest death toll in such an attack since the beginning of the war in Gaza. One of the sites targeted was a research center used in the development of weapons, a war monitor said. Syrian officials said civilian sites were targeted. Israel regularly targets military sites in Syria linked to Iran and the Lebanese militant group Hezbollah. Those strikes have become more frequent as Hezbollah has exchanged fire with Israeli forces for the past 11 months against the backdrop of Israel's war against Hamas, a Hezbollah ally, in Gaza. However, the intensity and death toll of Sunday night's strikes were unusual. There was no immediate comment from the Israeli military. Israel has carried out hundreds of strikes on targets inside government-controlled parts of war-torn Syria in recent years, but it rarely acknowledges or discusses the operations. The strikes often target Syrian forces or Iranian-backed groups. Germany's government ordered temporary controls at all land borders on Monday as a response to irregular migration and to protect the country from extremist threats, Interior Minister Nancy Faeser said at a news conference that the government is extending temporary border controls that it already has in place at some of its borders to all German land borders. We are strengthening our internal security through concrete action, and we are continuing our tough stance against irregular migration, Faeser said. The ministry said that it notified the European Union on Monday of the order to set up border controls at the land borders with France, Luxembourg, the Netherlands, Belgium, and Denmark for a period of 6 months. They will begin next week on Sept. 16. This adds to restrictions already in place on the land borders with Poland, the Czech Republic, Austria, and Switzerland. A bridge collapsed and a bus was swept away by flooding in Vietnam on Monday, raising the death toll in the Southeast Asian country to at least 64 from a typhoon and subsequent heavy rains that also damaged factories in export-focused northern industrial hubs, state media reported. 9 people died on Saturday after Typhoon Yagi made landfall in Vietnam before weakening into a tropical depression. The rest died in the floods and landslides that followed on Sunday and Monday, state media VN Express reported. The water levels of several rivers in northern Vietnam were dangerously high. A bus carrying 20 people was swept into a flooded stream by a landslide in mountainous Cao Bang province on Monday morning, state media said. 4 bodies were recovered from the bus, and 1 person was rescued alive. The others were still missing. Pope Francis received a raucous welcome Monday as he arrived in East Timor to celebrate its recovery from a bloody and traumatic independence battle, even as he indirectly acknowledged an abuse scandal involving its Nobel Peace Prize-winning hero, Timorese Jan Francis motorcade route into town from the airport, waving Vatican and Timorese flags and toting yellow and white umbrellas, the colors of the Holy See, to shade themselves from the scorching midday sun. Viva el Papa, they shouted as he passed by. The 87-year-old Francis seemed to relish the greeting, smiling broadly from the open-backed pickup truck and waving as he passed by billboard after billboard featuring his image and words of welcome. The overwhelmingly Catholic East Timor, one of the world's poorest countries, had eagerly awaited Francis' arrival, which came on the heels of the 25th anniversary of the UN-backed referendum that paved the way for independence from Indonesia. A short break from the Hello America Millennium Daily News. Stay tuned.